Gosh, I sold a listing this weekend. It went on the market
Ooh,
Friday. Sunday we had three offers, and Monday we had an accepted offer. And then
well, that's awesome.
on Sunday I have a buyer that had an offer accepted. So that's exciting. I mean, for someone who has 30 listings all at one time, it might not be so exciting for you, but for someone who
No, that
has fewer listings, it's been kind of fun.
man, every single time a listing sells, that's awesome. And so your market, is it still hot, or was it something that you did differently that got your listing sold right away?
Um, The actually, it's interesting you should ask that because I walked through houses that I would consider the competition before we nailed down on what we thought the price should be. Let's say I walked through 8 houses, every single one of them lowered their price after this weekend.
Mm,
So I don't know. And ours was, so the house was listed at 500 and I looked at houses from 475 to 515. One, I mean, I marketed the heck out of it. Two, it's in my neighborhood, so I know it well. And I did a lot more door knocking and phone calls than I normally would for other listings. But, it's also a gorgeous home. It's just,
okay.
it's probably the prettiest home on the block. So that kind of helped too. So.
Well, well, awesome. That's definitely a win. So definitely awesome. Kristen or Arthur, you guys have any wins of the week or past 2 weeks that you wanna share?
Well, I'm new to the group and I have a vacant lot that just went under contract here where I'm located. And I'm in Southeast Palm Bay here in Florida.
Okay.
And then I also picked up another listing for a vacant land. So things are going steady.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the group.
Thank
So
you.
we do these calls. Sometimes there's a couple people on, sometimes there's a dozen or so on, and it's just to kind of get our day started, a little bit of motivation. Sometimes we do a little bit of masterminding or teaching on something. And each one of the founders or coaches leads a different day. So I'm on Friday, Paul's on Monday, Felicia's on Tuesday, Gretchen's on Thursday, I believe. So you kind of get a little bit of different views, and each one of us does it kind of a little bit different, but basically all the same of just trying to help people get their day going. Um, all right. Well, anyone have any questions or anything, any topics they want to, kind of go through today, or just let me vomit from the mouth? All right. So,
You
well, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jared James. He's a real estate coach. I kind of tell everyone like he's like the new Tom Ferry. He's the new Brian Buffini, where I like him because he's not trying to reinvent the car, but I think he's trying to put on new wheels for the car to move faster and better. So he focuses on social media. He does do like expired and canceled and FISBOs, but he has like a different approach to doing that. So instead of calling expired, you have a payday, a candy bar with a little greeting card that says, "Hey, I just want to let you know the next time we meet, I hope to give you a real payday." And just how I know how to separate myself from the competition, I know how to separate your house from the competition. So if you really want your house to get sold, just give me a call. I don't want to be that other realtor that's just giving you a call and hounding you. If I'm the right fit, great. So I think it's just like like I like that type rather than, pounding and trying to learn like some crazy objection handling just to get the meeting. So I went there and he made me realize that embracing AI is is a must in our industry. And if we don't, the agents that do will end up outshining and replacing us. And he started showing me that, like, 'cause I'm totally against AI. I use a little bit of ChatGPT, but I don't want AI to replace anybody. But he started showing me things that were like, hey, you can actually use this to make a much better client experience. And that's really one thing he really hits on. And, you know, I was unaware that you can literally take your inspection report, upload it into an AI and say, please go through this inspection report, pick out the things that are big safety issues and big issues that we should be asking for up front, and then come up with a maintenance schedule, starting with the most important to least important of when they should be taking care of these things after the close of escrow. So not only can now you take this to your client and say, hey, here's the inspection report, here's all the items that we think are big items, here's the maintenance schedule, here's the vendors, here's probably the approximate cost, and it kind of does it all for you, as well as now you can also share this with the seller and the listing agent and say, hey, this is why we're asking for what, and these are all the things we're not asking for that we know account for this amount of money. So it actually gives you a lot more strength in negotiating, because a lot of time I know with agents, either I get the buyer's agents that give me a list of 1,000 things, or say, here's the inspection report, we want $25,000 because we want to fix everything. I'm like, okay, well, your GFI outlets that are $75, you're buying an older house, the codes have changed, we're not replacing those. And now we're like arguing about like what we can and can't do, rather than just focusing on what are the main important things and knowing that we already negotiated ourselves out of these things. And now we're only asking for these things. So I really did like that. He also said there's an AI called, I think it's, I have my notes here too. I think her name is, I think it's Cindy, but I'll get it, or Dane, I'll get it though, whatever it is. It's an AI that you can take your DISC report with, or DISC test with. It reads your personality, and then you can also go through your database and say, here, see if there's a DISC report on this person, or based on their social media, based on their, their habits online, give me what their DISC report is. And now it goes through your full entire database and will give a DISC report for everyone and say, this is how you should talk to them. This is what's important to them. This is how you can connect with them. And I thought, wow, that's a brilliant way to use AI. And for me, because my whole business is built on building relationships and making partnerships, I don't do third-party lead generation. I don't door knock. I don't cold call. If I can have an upper end of when I'm talking to people that maybe I don't know as well that are in my database, I thought that was a huge takeaway for me. What are your guys' thoughts on the AI?
I love it, and I know I need to leverage it more. And I literally just got an inspection report 10 minutes ago, so I'm going to try to do that. I just asked GPT, if I load an inspection report, can you do this for me? And they said, certainly. And so I'm going to enter the report. Do you know if they used ChatGPT or was it another AI that they used?
A lot of this was he was talking about ChatGPT. Like we don't use ChatGPT to the fullest of its capabilities. Number one, and I didn't even I'm trying to get through my page notes of it, but you should name your ChatGPT. Because, he gave me a whole thing of once you name it, it gives itself its own personality and it feels like it's worth something and it feels like it's your partner. And then you set rules. Hey, I'm going to ask you to go through my emails and write me out emails, but you never send out an email before cross-checking with me to send it. Or, whenever I ask you to do something, I need you to really think in depthly and don't just go, because I'm trying to look at the notes of it. But they generally chat, and most AIs will just go to 3 of the most common websites, and Reddit is one of the number one websites it goes to for its information, which isn't a truthful, accurate. You can find truth in there, but you can find a bunch of other stuff that does not belong anywhere near truth. And so you can tell it hey, when I ask you a question about this, these are the sites I want you to read from. And, I need you to really think in depthly about it. So you can really set rules. And once you name it, you start setting its rules, then it will forever remember it. So I thought that was pretty cool. The web or the other AI that it was told me about, I just found it. It's called crystalknows.com. It's a free Google Chrome plugin, and it's basically an AI that works with Google and can help you. So I thought that was a pretty cool takeaway for for AI and embracing it. And then, he kind of, I'm just going to vomit from the mouth unless you guys, want to stop, ask questions or go from there. But I think he also, I always have the belief that we shouldn't chase business and we should attract business. And it's so hard to do in this industry because everyone tells you, we need leads, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. And he said it maybe a little bit better is we don't need to reach out to people to try to convince them to sell. We need to be there when they decide to do so. And I think having that mindset shift of, it again goes back to you just need to stay in the flow with someone. You need to bring value. I best say is we treat our clients like a 18-year-old playboy treats his Tinder date. That he meets them, he courts them very quickly. He tries to get them in bed very quickly. And then once he does, he ghosts them. And I say we don't really understand what a client is because in the definition of client, you have to exchange services and money for it to be a client. Well, the only time we exchange money is once the transaction is closed. So we don't have past clients. There's no such thing. We have forgotten clients, but a client becomes a client once we close the transaction. Now they're our client because they've actually paid us. Now we have to prove our value and our worth and stay in the flow with them so they can remain our client for multiple transactions after that. So they can introduce us to more and more people. I mean, the stat was like, over 80% of clients say they will use their agent a second time, and less than like 20% and sometimes even less than 10% actually do. Because and the number one thing, they forget about us or they felt used. They felt like a Tinder date. So I think also using even AI or having a system for you to say, I need to, they close escrow. Do I have a program that makes me interact with them, whether it's email, text, or phone call, depending on how personal you want to get, to interact with them every single week for the first 6 months? Hey, I was just calling to say congratulations again on your house. Is there anything that came up, anything that you discovered about the house that you thought that we should have been aware of? I want to make sure that we can get in front of it beforehand. Second week, okay, now that you're settled in, you're moved in, I wanted to send you a $500 Home Depot card just for any maintenance things that we think we need to take care of. Hey, third week, and you just have a scheduled system of staying in the flow with them because that's truly how we're going to get more introductions and lead to someone using us again. Would anyone have anything to say on that one? Thoughts on it?
So last week's LFG call was all about AI. I've been using it since maybe 6 months after it came out on the market for everybody. Cindy, I'm actually, because my AI is named Nova, I use it enough that now it knows how I think. I just asked it a few questions. It's writing a prompt for you for your home inspection. So I'll send that to you later. But I use it all the time. I've written a prompt that will, and I think that it has, I'm supposed to find out today if I got the listing or not. I have a prompt that I've written that gives us a buyer prediction. So it looks at the area, it looks at demographics like where people work, what their income is, and then it gives you 3 strategies for marketing a new listing. So I had printed that off for my listing appointment on Tuesday. And that kind of blew the socks off of the potential seller. Because I'm like, everything that's in here marketing wise, I said it's totally doable. And I can incorporate that into my current strategy and checklist of what I do when I put a new house on the market.
And do you tell your client that AI did this, or do you tell them, hey, I've done a bunch of extensive market research and this is what the research has come to?
So the way that I say this is that I have started with the market research and I have loaded it into AI to give me a more concise overview of what we're looking at.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah,
So
no, I mean,
I've done similar things, and where I'm struggling is I have this great plan. Also, I have a marketing background. I was in marketing for 30 years. So, but where I struggle is I have this follow-up plan and I just don't. So I need to get that more automated, because a year
and that's
after.
what I would say. I would take your follow-up plan, I would take your marketing plan, I would put it into AI and say, how can I systemize this? Where are there spots that I can automate this? And then it could help you do so. I mean, ultimately, I mean, that's no matter how you do business, follow-up is it's really where the riches are. It's really where you'll start scaling your business and doing it on a higher level. But I also think, talking to him, like, we don't have to aspire to do 20 to 30 transactions a year. We don't have to aspire to do 100 transactions a year. Like, I think building your business on what it is that you actually want and doing that on a very high level. And then, he pointed out there's this girl who she's now doing 200 transactions a year, and she started off as a new agent. She'd go into the office, and anyone that was 65, 70 years old that once did or still did a good amount of book of business, she would want to go, hey, can I come learn from you? I really want to learn from you. And then she would just say, hey, when it comes time for you to retire, what's your exit plan? And they didn't really have one because most agents don't even think about that. So, I would love to be your exit plan. And why don't we do like a buyout where the first year that you're planning to exit, I'll just be a 25% referral fee. You just kind of introduce me to your client. And then throughout the 5 years, by the year 5, I'll be giving you a 25% referral fee. And you're basically transferring the book of business to that person over a 5-year period. I think that's brilliant. So that might be another solution for people. She also said she'll go to like influencers and people that do a pretty good book of business outside of real estate, and she'll say, hey, I will pay for you to go get your license, so that when you are meeting people, you can tell them you also have your real estate license, and then you can just refer it to your team, aka me, and we'll take care of the deal and we'll give you 25%. I thought that was also pretty brilliant, because people pay Zillow 40%, people pay Realtor.com. I mean, people are used to paying 25 to 50%, and relocations out to 65%, which is crazy. Why not have someone that's on your side where you can legally pay them? And what did it really cost you? It cost you $800, $1,600 to get their license. So I thought that was another good way to have pillars that don't take a lot of time, don't take a lot of money, don't take a lot of like, I got to become a great objection handler. I got to become like that person that just pounds the phone. And it's more of, again, building relationships, making partnerships. But I believe in making partnerships. She found maybe, to me, a better way to make partnerships. Because now, I mean, anytime you can increase someone's income and education, I think it's huge. Again, she says, I focus on people that are doing their business on a high level, because if you get someone that's just like, yeah, they kind of do a little bit, they're kind of good, they're going to use this as an extra thing of income and go, oh, wait a second, I'll become the real estate agent. So he's like, I use people that like I look for the best estate planners, and I'll go to all 3 estate planners and ask them, do they have their license? Do they have anyone on their team that has their license? And if we worked out something like that, is that something to be interested in? And, those are the ones that, she approaches. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea as well. Your guys' thoughts?
I love the idea of like the transfer plan. Seeing I'm nearing 60, I'm not going to be one taking over someone else's business. Someone might take over mine. And I'm hoping that's my daughter. We're talking about that, but I've heard that. And I actually know somebody who's doing that right now, another brokerage that I'd worked at before. Somebody had been in business 40 years. She's gradually retiring, and a more junior person is taking over the business over a 10-year period of time, but similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think, I think we all think about it when we're building our businesses, is what is going to be our exit strategy? And this is a business, and if someone ever built a business just to walk away from it, they didn't build a business. They had a long career, and it could have been a great career, but businesses get passed on or sold, or they go out of business. Careers, those are the ones that, you just exit out of. So I thought that was, a pretty cool idea. Let me think some other takeaways. Gifts, I'm all about client gifts, and the difference between giving a personalized gift and a personal gift. Personalized, Cutco with your name on it. Different things with your name. That's what we're always taught. Give a gift that they're going to keep forever, but you're going to have your name on it. For every single time they use it, they're going to think of you. No, they're not. They're going to hide that knife set, and they're going to think like, I got to take this out in front of my clients or in front of my friends and family, knowing that I couldn't afford this Cutco thing. Someone gave it to me. Versus a personal gift of they love to golf. I got them a golf set. They love to golf. I took them to a golf course. They got family. I paid for tickets for Disneyland. When you give a personal gift, now it truly means something to them, and they understand that you knew about them, you cared about them. And I love to give, I call them experiences. So I like we live really close to Disneyland. Giving gifts for Disneyland for the family is one of my best ones I give, because I know, and I give it to them. I say, hey, will you do me a favor? When you go there, will you take a picture and just tag me? I kind of really want to share that experience going with you, and I want to see that you guys enjoyed it. Really, I want your friends and family to see that I helped pay for it. And like, hey, look at the realtor being to do those kind of things. But I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And the same type of idea that you have a client, retention program, a client appreciation program, a VIP program, however you want to name it, and having a program where you're finding ways to give them small gifts throughout the year to stay top of mind so that you're appreciative. And again, because people are used to giving 25 to 40% of their commissions away, building up a program that says, hey, I'm going to spend 10 to 20% on my core, on my past clients, shouldn't say past clients, on my clients, my potential clients, and my referral partners. How do I use it to go out to breakfast with them, or out to lunch with them, or pay for a little this or a little that? It goes such a long way. You see, hey, my daughter just joined softball, and you send like a little training kit for them, which costs $25, and like, hey, I saw that your daughter joined softball. Here's a great, swing training aid that my daughter really likes. And I think by doing things like that, you really blow them out of the water, and you show them that you really truly care about them. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing as well. I have 5 more minutes, so if there's anything that someone wants to go over before we go, I got to take my kids to school.
I have a
please,
question for you.
Yeah, please.
I love the gifts that you're doing, and I'm trying to do as part of my follow-up, I do some small thing of value every month for a year after they have purchased the house. So it might be tickets to the state fair, it might be a gift card for Starbucks or something. Your gifts seem very generous. What is your typical commission Because when I'm making $5,000, I can't imagine going out and buying a set of golf clubs and a trip to Disneyland.
Yeah, our price points are different. My price point 800 to 1.2.
Okay.
I charge 4 to 7% commission.
Oh,
So I do well on
Are-
that part.
yeah.
So again, and that's why I say like come with like 10 to 20%. So if you make 5,000, it'd be like $500 is
Mhm.
that first client gift. And then there's
Mhm.
another $500 that's used for the year of things so that you can kind of break that part down. And I truly believe like in any business, when you look at it and you always talk about what's their marketing budget, generally it'll be somewhere from like 25 to up to 45% of their revenue. So I
Mhm.
think like, hey, if we can use this and it's not a gift budget, it's a marketing budget. So
Right.
how can we use these gift ideas? And when you're going, hey, I just wanted to show you how much I appreciated. I truly hope even after 6 months, you appreciated the value of service I delivered. And just please keep me in mind if you're ever at a party and you hear someone talking about real estate, let them know that you have a great agent to introduce them to. And it goes back to, I say it all the time, and the people that are new to here, you're going to hear me say introductions, and that's I don't say referral. I tell everyone, I don't want a referral. I want an introduction. The difference is this: if I know Cindy and, I want to refer her to Kristen, I would say, hey, Cindy, here's Kristen's number. Go ahead and give her a call. She's great. You're going to love her. The statistic probability of her calling Kristen is less than 50%. Her actually using Kristen is less than 25%. But if I say, hey, Cindy, let's get on a Zoom. I want to introduce you to Kristen. We get on a Zoom and I introduce and say, Kristen's one of the best agents I know in her area. She does this, this, and this. And Cindy is my really good friend. I really need to make sure you take care of her. Cindy, if Kristen ever doesn't give you 5-star service, I need you to let me know right away, because we really pride ourselves on 5-star service. I'm going to be helping Kristen deliver on that 5-star service. And the same thing, Kristen, I really want my clients to really respect and value us. So if you ever feel that Cindy is not respecting or valuing you, I need you to call me right away, because guys, I'm here to make this relationship go beyond, and I want everyone to have a great experience through this transition. So please let her know that, Kristen's my boots on the ground, Cindy is my client, and I really want to help you guys make this road. 99.9% of the time, Cindy will use Kristen. Kristen will have a great experience for them, and I'm going to be involved in the transaction, not in the day-to-days, but in the problem solving and in the glue of making sure that relationship lasts. And I also let them both know I'm involved. Cindy is my client. So even if she moves to your town and she closes the deal, Cindy is going to refer me, introduce me to the business, not Kristen to the new business. Because that's how, those are the best deals I believe that you can do in this industry is our introductions. Getting a referral fee for not having to actually do the day-to-day and spend the time and money and effort and emotions on it. Oh man, those are the best ones. And I would say probably now, it's been about 25% of my business. Again, people are fleeing California where they sell here and they buy everywhere else. So that it has to be, but before I was just giving names and numbers. Oh, did they ever call you? No. Did they use you? No, they ended up using somebody else. Oh, I didn't really like them. Well, I just introduced someone, on Zoom, they went there and she called me and said, hey, he's not responding. He's not the type of agent I want. Who else do you have? Perfect. Let me, and I introduced her a new person. They hit it off. Their house is going on the market. So that's also why I do it, is I'm letting them know. You let me know. If they don't give you the 5-star service that you deserve, you let me know right away. So we're going to cut this off. Today we're going to be talking about, building a lunch and learn or seminars at assisted living communities and building out the whole blueprint. So please join us, if you're a member. If you're not, maybe we can let you in on a freebie on this one to kind of let you guys know what we train on, what we how much of the blueprint we get into. And if nothing else, I hope to see you guys next Friday.